but they're strong enough where you could still grab it and they're not gonna break. But if I drop it, and if it hits the wrong corner, obviously it's gonna chip the area, right? So just be careful. You kind of hold the crown. You could drop the mandrel portion, but you want to take care of your crown, right? For example, like, I used to play keyboard or guitar for the band. Like when we're like local band where we're kind of traveling, right? And I always used to say to my helpers, it's kind of unethical, but I said it. I say, if you're about to drop, cover it with your hand. Your hand will heal, but not the guitar. So kind of like that, right? Kind of that attitude. So not a good example. We should be on a glove and we should be on a mask, okay? And but I'm just gonna do it, okay? And people used to ask me if we could just kind of knock it off, right? Mm-hmm. And I recommend not to do that, right? So you could try, but I say, why would you try, right? When you cut it. So you cut it like that, right? And you see how I was holding it and I was gently like cutting in and out, right? Up and down. So from here, I use my next burr, which is a fine carbide. It's usually yellow stripe, right? This is one of my favorite burr kit called GC07, Dr. Greg Campbell. And I kind of came up with this kit where it has a kit of pre-polishing and post-polishing kits in it. Okay, so about 8,000 RPM. Kind of go this way. So even grabbing the restorations, right? You want to try to cover, and then kind of like treat it like if it's like a baby, right? So you want to be able to protect, and you want to be able to use the longer axis wall of your burr, and let this help you to kind of go around. Around the restorations. And when I'm at the clinic, I kind of look around and I go, that's my trick. But that's very unethical. Anyways, so I can't help myself. Just wait until I'm showing a stained glaze demonstration. Kind of like some of you might throw up. Well, so I'm marking the margin, right? And there's reasons why I'm doing this. There's such a white color; it's hard to tell. So two things. You wanna mark them with your pencil, and you wanna make sure when it's so pure white, it's hard to tell of the shape, right? And number two is, how a lot of you doctors have the loop with the spotlight, right? Mm-hmm. That's actually not recommending for removing screws and contouring on the zirconia, because it's gonna make it like even more white. So I recommend to use a desk lamp, so that you kind of use, like, by moving it, the really only way for me to tell is by moving it and by using a shadow to see the contour. Does it make sense? So I strongly recommend for you to have the table light. Okay. So once I do it, I basically start again, same thing with the contouring, right? With the blue side pencil, I like to create the line angle, right? Medial and distal, right? And they're not quite definite, right? So what I do is I kind of draw this way, and draw what I want. Does it make sense, everyone? And the other area that I don't want, I grab it like a pencil. Slowly contour, right? So now that I got rid of those areas, so now I have a clean line angles. Oh, right there. Just like that. So that's the first off of creating a typical line angles, right? Second, I get into when we're doing adjusting on a restoration is to create like some anatomy, right? So anatomy usually looks like a little V shape, almost like a little Y, right there, right? Same thing. The distal side is always a bit wider, okay? And then this line angle, this anatomy kind of goes out like that. Same thing on the distal, it kind of goes out like that. Okay, which makes a belly of a football on a cuspid. Okay, that's the natural contour comes from. But lateral and central make a baseball. Other than that, everything's football. Okay, had to say it. So you're basically following a very low RPM, 3 or 4,000 RPM, right? And you're slowly like following your line. Without line, no matter how master of a ceramist I am, right, technician I am, it's hard for me to tell. That's why I recommend pencil, okay? And you're just basically following the lines. You carefully get away. All right, so we're done.
How long does it take to mill this?
Oh, about 15, how long? About 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
James, where's James? Because I have the wet mill, the dry mill. When they come back, I'll ask, okay?
Okay.
So
You probably
7,000
wet
RPM.
15.
Yeah, mine's wet.
You have to swap it out. End of the year deal.
The wet mill takes a little bit longer, right?
I forget.
It will work in the old?
It will do in the wet mill, but things takes a little bit longer.
So guys, so now this is a pink twister. This used to be a composite polisher, right? This works beautifully on zirconia pre-polishing, okay? And one more common sense is it's on the forward, right? So when I'm cutting it, I'm cutting towards the margin. Obviously, if I'm doing that, as soon as I'm doing it, I'm start shortening the margins, right? Okay. Once I do that, I go into next phase, which is the high shining, right? I go a little bit higher on the high shine. My goal of pre-polishing here is, when you get a block like this, they're kind of like glossy, high shine, right? That's the kind of level that I want to get to, right? And just look at the buccal area, which I've done. Here, let me do a little bit more, right, on this square area. Create a little bit of pina colada. Next time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the suction out and use the suction.
So Sean, can you tell them what is the difference between doing what you're doing now, polishing it to get that shiny look, versus if you don't do that and just put it in the oven?
So we're gonna do two demonstrations, and I want everyone to kind of take a look around and what I've done. So what I did was I redefined the line angle, because a lot of times design and mill you know on a CAD milled restoration, right? They kind of come out like around the margin a little bit thicker, right? And we always talk about gold crown margin, right? So here we have opportunity of, like, after marking or margination, if you're well experienced and trained, you could actually mark the margin and you'd be able to tell where the real margin is. And you'd be able to use burr like this to thin down the margin, and it would come out like a gold crown. However, I do not recommend it for beginner. If you want to challenge and practice, you could achieve that way as well. Okay? So just for little dots. Okay. So
Sean, can you create like a sort of a dye inside, something that you can pour it up to polish the margin?
actually, one of my buddy from Florida came up with a great idea where he puts the expansion ratio on a STL the file, and he actually prints that. So printed die is expanded like this size, and have an exact die, and he could work on the margin, which is a smarter way of doing it. My thought process is pretty simple, so I like to kind of be careful and do it. So here, I got a two restoration. Hey James,
Yes,
I could sinter two crowns at the same time, right?
correct.
Okay, 18 minutes.
As long as they're that's a good question. As long as they're like the same, relative, like the same, obviously same material and like same kind of density.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's see.